look like a teenage boy. I literally just woke up, as you can probably tell. Okay, before we even get started though, I need to change because one thing that I've learned from working from home is that I gotta set schedules or I will actually go insane. So I'm gonna go do that. You like my outfit? It's 70 degrees outside. All right. I'm motivating myself for the future by wearing workout clothes. It works 70% of the time. I mostly edit for other YouTubers. That's basically the main thing that I do. I started doing this more seriously like around COVID, when COVID hit, because before that I was like shooting a wedding. I shot one wedding to try it out. It was okay, but I really didn't know what I was doing, even though I think it turned out pretty nice considering I was shooting with one camera and it was just me. And they barely paid me anything, so. I was shooting corporate events. I was just trying to kind of figure out what I wanted to do, and then when COVID hit, I was like, can't leave the house anymore. I guess I'm gonna focus on editing. Conveniently, I've found through my trial and error that I am best, shocker, at editing for YouTube content or just social media content. So that's what I started to focus on. We're gonna jump into the questions that you guys asked me over on Instagram. These are the things that real people want to know, so hopefully we can make this video as useful as possible. How to set prices. This is a question I still don't know the answer to, not gonna lie. There's no like one size fits all answer that I can give you right now. Here's my tip, okay, for trying to figure out a range for your price point. Work backwards on how much time you think it's gonna take to edit this video. You think it's gonna take you 3 hours to edit this video, so do 3 times whatever your hourly rate would be. And if you're getting started, I think that can range honestly anywhere from like 20 bucks to 50. If you're a more experienced editor, you kind of have to figure out like what you want your value to be at, and it can fluctuate depending on who the client is, what the type of video it is. There's a lot of factors that you have to take into consideration, but normally that's kind of how I figure out the general range that I want to be in. Another tip that I've only really started doing recently is charging more than you expect, because a lot of the time people will try and barter you down a little bit. If they try and barter down, it will probably land somewhere around the number that I initially thought of anyway, and if they don't, then that's just some extra cash for me. So it works out either way normally when I do that. So there's a lot on here about getting started and like how do you just get clients in general. My YouTube channel has helped me tremendously with finding clients, but you know, that is just another form of networking at the end of the day, right? It's getting your name out there so that people can find you or they can recommend you to their friends. And having a channel in my case has really helped with my reputation because people know that I know what I'm doing. Making sure that your work is online, whether it's on a website or it's on a YouTube channel or any other social media, just make sure it's out there, because otherwise how are people going to trust you to work for them if they haven't seen what you can do? It's more of a show don't tell type of situation. There's so many proactive ways you can go out and get work. You could go knocking business to business and asking to make videos for them. I have friends who have done that and they're doing very well now, and they build that clientele that way. You could go on websites like Fiverr or Upwork and put your work out there for people. But me personally, I've been able to find most of my clients through word of mouth, through being a part of this community online and marketing my skills and talking about it all the time through videos like this one or on Twitter, or how to get monies. Alright, this is a loaded question right here. Well, the next question kind of ties into it. Do you like charging by the hour or project? It depends is the short answer. Sometimes if the videos are pretty repetitive, like if it's tutorials, then I'll do by the project because they're normally pretty much the same and they take the same amount of time to do. But there are some videos that I work on that are more time consuming and unpredictable, and those ones I like to do by the hour because then I make sure that I'm not working a lot more than I thought I would and not getting paid for it. How many rounds of notes is ideal? Here's the thing, alright? There isn't a number that I have set in stone. Normally I say 2 and then I'll charge more, but honestly a lot of the time it just depends on who I'm working with. I found through doing this that a lot of the creators I work for are a lot more easy to work with because it's normally like a one-on-one type of situation I can ask them. When I work with companies though, it's a little bit more complicated. I'd say like 2 or 3 is probably where I would draw the line without asking to be compensated for it, especially if it's not my fault. Like if it's my fault and I mess something up in the edit, I normally obviously would not charge for that, I just do it. But if it's like a nitpicky change or a completely different change that was not communicated earlier, I will charge for that. Essential tools, alright. I use QuickBooks Self-Employed to just make sure that I'm on track of everything, otherwise I'd be completely lost. It helps a lot with taxes as well, which is very confusing when you're a freelancer. Adobe Sign I use all the time with estimates that I send people. You can also use QuickBooks Self-Employed to send invoices to people and get paid directly through there, which is super useful. I use that literally all the time. How to become consistent with freelance opportunities. I'm at the point right now where I've been doing a lot of business development, following up with people, because there's a huge step between talking and saying we're gonna do something and the money actually arriving in my bank account. So there's kind of been a lot of learning how to talk to people, see what works, see what doesn't work, and make sure that I'm finding these clients that are more recurring, because that's obviously the goal, to achieve some sort of kind of stability, right? I feel like there's a lot of factors that go into finding good clients. There's a lot of things that you just can't control, like do you guys get along with your communication style? Because especially when it comes to something so personal as editing YouTube content, you have to have that good working relationship and communication, otherwise it's just not gonna work out. Hello, I'm taking a break. I've been working all day and I just went to the store to get litter for this guy. Now I'm eating a quesadilla and drinking whatever the heck this is, so. And I'm watching a stream. This is how I take a break. You guys wanted to see what I'm up to, here we are. I don't want to sit here and be like, everything's perfect, it's so easy, because it's obviously not. It's been a very stressful process to get started. I feel like I'm finally starting to get to the point where I'm like more comfortable with what I do, because I'm getting more recurring clients, but I'm still definitely in the early stages and it's stressful. It's very stressful. Ever since I moved out, because you know, LA is expensive, and thank God I saved up for like 2 years before I even moved, so without that, this would not have been possible. The truth is, like, I spent a lot of time just right there. A lot of my friends right now are graduating from college, and it's interesting because I was talking to one of my good friends yesterday and she was like, yeah, I just hope like my job is as interesting as yours, because I told her about this client I'm editing for that is, his videos are a little crazy and so it's more interesting to edit. I was like, you know, even stuff like this, like after 10 hours of sitting at my computer and editing, at the end of the day, work is work. No matter what type of work it is, whether you turn what you love into your job, it's still going to be work, and there's going to be aspects of that work that you don't like, and that's totally normal and something that I think I've had to like get over, because I just assumed that I should be excited about everything, otherwise I'm not doing what I actually love to do. I don't know where that mindset comes from. I guess probably social media contributes a little bit, because all you see are people's highlights, so it's like, oh, if I'm doing what I love, then I should be like happy and excited all the time when I'm working, and that's just not the case a lot of the time, and that's okay. That's just reality, right? Yeah, it doesn't mean I don't like what I do, it doesn't mean I'd rather do anything else, it just means sometimes work is work and you just gotta do it, and that's totally normal and good. And it doesn't mean you're not passionate about what you do, it's just that's how it is sometimes, you know? It's a different day. I'm wearing the exact same outfit. I didn't end up running yesterday, but I'm going today, so. Back in the day. Back in the day. Guys, look at that. What? before I go, the last thing I'm gonna say, if I was gonna start freelancing tomorrow for the first time, I would tell that person, tell everyone that they're starting to do this, first of all. Tell your friends, tell the people who follow you on social media, post about it on social media, just talk about it everywhere because you never know who could come across that. I'd also say to follow a bunch of people on social media that you would like to work for. And if you don't have a portfolio, I would build one, first of all. You can literally just make like fake videos and post them on a portfolio and be like, this is an example of what I would do for you. Say you want to start editing for streamers. Take a stream from one of your favorite streamers, edit it into a YouTube video, post it on your portfolio and be like, here's an example of what I can do. Not real, I don't work for this person, but here's an example. You don't need to get paid to build a portfolio. You can do that on your own beforehand. So I would do that. I would build up a portfolio, post it somewhere, whether it's on a website, which is super useful to have. Don't underestimate that. The amount of times people have asked me for my website is huge, and it really does come in handy and make you look a lot more professional. You can reach out to people directly. A lot of the time there are people who post on Twitter or on Instagram like, I'm looking for an editor, send me an email, and then bam, you send them that email with your portfolio and with your experience, and you never know, you could get an answer. This has worked for me in the past, so I know it works. Yeah, I feel like the last time I made a video about freelancing, I had absolutely no idea what I was doing, so at least this time I know a little bit more. Still learning a lot, but so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Leave a comment below. Let me know, do you do any freelance work? I want to know. Do you have any experience? Leave some tips for people who are just getting started. Or if you have any questions, you can leave them down below. And maybe I or someone else will answer you, maybe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next week with another new video. Bye!